Aloha, Michelle Shine here. Today I wanted to share a story about how you can use mind gardening, also called mana gardening, techniques to find lost objects. It's basically a way of tapping into your inner wisdom and listening to that wisdom and finding things that way. You can also receive an image of where you last saw it or an idea of where something might be. It's fascinating stuff. So here's the story. So I was hiking last Saturday and I was in exploration mode. I was on a new trail I'd never been on. I just found a pullout in the national forest and just decided to see if it was a trail and follow it. And it was a trail and I followed it. And then I heard water off in the distance and I was thinking, wow, that might be a waterfall. So let's go that way. And so then I saw a trail that went towards the water. So I went that way. And then it wasn't a waterfall, it was a creek, but it was still a very beautiful scene. And then I saw that the trail continued past the creek and went up into the woods. And it was a little smaller, it was a little less defined at that point. And then it just kept going, but I could started to see it started to look more like an animal trail. It was not a well-worn trail, but I could also tell that someone had been on it recently because there were leaves that were kicked up along the path. So, it seemed to lose the trail and then find it again and lose it and find it. And it ended up going up a stream bed that was on a pretty steep incline. And I could see up at the top of this creek spot where it all seemed to get flat and there seemed to be some sun coming through. And so I was thinking that maybe that was an old logging road up there. And so I was going to try to get to that spot. And I knew that if I got to that spot and if it wasn't what I thought it was, I was going to turn around and come back the way I came. So, I wouldn't get lost or whatever. So, I'm trekking up this stream, and the whole time I was listening to beautiful things, music from the last singing event I went to, relearning those songs and just loving every second of it. And then about halfway up the stream bed, the music stopped and I just was in silence and wood sounds, but silence. And so I'm quiet, I'm going up this stream bed. It's got a little bit of trickling water in it, but it's not deep. It's not like a lot of water, but it's very wet and muddy. And I'm trekking up this stream bed, and then I notice that the trail seems to veer off to the right a little bit. Looks like the trail crossed the stream and then went up, and it was like an easier way to get to that top part where I thought was the logging road. And as I'm going towards the right, I go to the right, I start climbing up, and it's very steep to the point where I'm holding on to little branches and shrubs and thanking them for helping me keep my footing. And I'm just climbing up, and then my knee hit my belly because I was so steep that my knees were my thigh was touching my belly. And when my thigh touched my belly, I felt that my phone fell out of my pocket, out of my sweatshirt pocket. And then I looked all around and I didn't see it. And then I broadened my circumference and looked around and I didn't see it. And then I broadened my circumference again and looked around and didn't see it. And then I was like, oh boy, this might not be the best situation. And I started to think oh boy, if I've lost this phone, I know I've got an appointment in an hour. A phone Zoom call appointment thing, and I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna have to get a new phone and have all the new contacts, and I'm gonna lose all my pictures. I don't have my phone backed up. So it was gonna be a big mess. And then I was like, no, stop this negative stuff. We are going to find this phone, and how can we do this? So I decided to close my eyes. And I put myself in my inner garden. I put myself up near that gorgeous lake where I go often in Colorado, up high, Silver Lake. And the flowers up there just delight me. There's so many beautiful flowers up there in the summer. And I imagined that the flowers were kind of really close. You know, they were like right in my face and that they were singing to me. And I had this beautiful little moment, or a few moments, of flowers singing to me in heaven, basically. And I was just like overjoyed and delighted. And then I asked my teams of guides and my higher self, my inner garden, to help me find this phone, and that I needed all kinds of help and support, and I appreciated it, and thank you. And I also envisioned myself finding the phone and feeling that gratefulness of, oh my God, thank you. I'm just like, oh my God, thank you. And so I imagined that, right? And so I already kind of pre-paved it. I what's the word I want to use? I'm losing the word right now. I was pre-creating kind of with my imagination the outcome that I wanted, which was finding my phone, right? So I had an experience of it. I imagined that I found it. I felt the emotions of it. That's the important part, is you imagine it and you feel it, right? You feel the emotion of finding it, or whatever the outcome is. You feel how awesome that's going to feel, right? And so what that does is that creates neural pathways in your brain to an experience that hasn't happened yet, like a memory. It's an experience, but it's a memory. I could put in quotes because it's a memory, because you just imagined it and you can reimagine it. So it's a memory, and it's getting logged into your brain somewhere, into your memory. So you've now created a neural pathway to an event that hasn't happened. And that's basically what mind gardening is. In many cases, there's a lot more you can do with it, but like, it's like, basically that's the gist, is that you're creating new neural pathways to things that you want to have happen. And as you create the memory to them, they are given power, because you've got a memory that you can remember, right? And more neurons go down that pathway, and more neurons go down that pathway. And I believe that's the magnetics that brings these experiences to us, the ones that we want to create when we pre-pave them, or we pre-imagine them, or pre-create them. So I did that, and I'm asking for help. And then I closed my eyes and I said, okay, guides and higher self, which way do I walk? Do I walk down the stream bed? Do I walk down straight from where I am? Because if you remember, the stream bed is here, but I'm over here, right? And the phone fell like over here. So over here. And the stream bed's here. So I didn't know whether to walk straight down or whether to walk, down the stream bed or what. And I heard go down the stream bed. So I cruised back over here. I went down the stream bed, back where I was. I was not in anxiety mode. I was in just like whatever is, and that this phone's going to turn up mode. And I got, 50 yards down the stream bed. And then I felt like, okay, it might be time to ask again. And so I closed my eyes for a second and I just asked, and I said, okay, do I continue going down? Do I turn around and go up, or do I go left or right? And I heard go back up. So I went back up, and at some point I got close to the point where you're supposed to go, where I was going to go right and go back where I was. And I was a little bit farther beneath it. I was probably 20 feet below that. Maybe not 20. I don't know. Probably 20. Below the cutoff where it was veering right. So, and then at that point I was like, okay, now do I go right, or do I go left, or up or down? And I heard go right. And so I looked right, and when I looked over to the right, over next to a tree, there was my phone, like glistening in the sun, reflecting the sun's light. Like there's no way I could miss it. And I walked over to it and I went, thank you. And I was so excited because I followed my guidance. I disregarded the negative outcome that my mind was offering, right? And chose a different outcome. And I pre-paved it by pre-creating it, if you will, in my imagination and feeling the emotions of finding it. And so I found it. But what's so interesting is that phone, when it fell, it made no sound. It didn't crinkle a leaf. And we're in like the beginning of fall, like you would expect to see some crinkling or hear some crinkling leaves as a phone is sliding down the mountain. And it was 20 or 30 feet below me and didn't make a sound to get to that spot. And like I said, I didn't have my earphones in. I was not listening to anything. I was just in the moment. You know, when my phone fell, I felt it fall out of my pocket, but I didn't hear it land. I didn't hear it rustling down the mountain, nothing. And it was 20 or 30, probably 30 feet down below me because of the steepness of this hill in the woods. And I really don't think I would have ever found it if I had been in panic anxiety mode and worried about the outcome of not finding it and like being in that vibration. I think being in the vibration of it's all gonna work out and I've already found my phone, and asking for my guides and just following that inner wisdom. So basically what I wanted to share about this is all of that, plus getting out of our own way is so important. And I feel like in that experience, I got out of my own way. Like I did not allow the ego or the negative, idea producing part of the mind to dictate my experience. I got out of my own way, or that part of me got out of my way. I tuned into the divine. I tuned into divine wisdom, to guidance, to my heart, to my soul, to being guided. I opened myself up for that. So, and I've done this kind of thing before. I remember at one point my daughter lost something. I don't remember what it was, her paints or markers or something. And I was using mind gardening or mana gardening techniques to find that again too. And I was, in my garden and relaxing and basking in my little heavenly place that I created. And then I asked, where are her paints? And then I saw an image of a school, and then poof, I remembered that she took them to school the week before. And so they were at school, we found them at school. So, you can use these techniques for so many things, for finding phones, for finding paint, for finding lost objects, for creating a situation that you want to experience, you can actually use it for healing relationships and for deleting trauma circuits and, or at least, easing the power that trauma circuits have over us. There's so much we can do with this mind gardening and mana gardening techniques to improve our experience and to allow the divine to work with us. So thanks for listening. I hope this was helpful, and have a blessed day.